Hello everyone, this is Mingjong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 in-minutes futures. That's for the session of 12th of June. In this video, I am going to show you the market recap on the last session, plus one trade review in the entry time frame, which I will cover the entry, exits, and also the rationale behind. And yesterday's setup was just based on a simple breakout setup from a localized structure. Going forward, I will definitely cover the bias, the key levels to pay attention to, and also the potential setup for the session later. And also, most importantly, the current market condition. So, are we starting a bear market, or this is just simply a pullback in a bull market? So, I will just give my 2 cents. So, let's just get started. As you can see in this daily chart, yesterday was a strong sell-off. So the sell-off actually began in the Tokyo session and it extended in the London session, and during the US session it just blown away. So this is definitely a sharp sell-off. So what you can see in this daily chart, or what really stands out to me, is definitely this bar, yesterday bar, and definitely a change of character bar. And if you look at the bottom from the 23rd of March, so this is in fact the greatest or the biggest spread, bearish spread that we ever had from the bottom of March. And if you assess the volume level, you can see that the volume is also the highest since the bottom formed in the 23rd of March. So this kind of bar actually just looks like where the selling began back in February. Yeah, you can see that the spread is very similar, and together with the volume level, so this is very similar. So are we in a very similar environment like this? So are we expecting this kind of movement or another kind of the second wave down, or even a test of this March low? So I think this is quite an important question, or quite a common question that everyone would like to seek the answer. But before I just elaborate more on this, let me just get down to what's really happening yesterday. So if you look at, or if you have watched my video yesterday, you notice that I have already talked about the distribution structure forming in these few days. And I did talk about the point and figure target as well, where I mentioned, I think it's around 3060, which it actually just exceeded my point and figure target. But anyway, that is just for one segment of the target. I can really extend it for another segment, but that is not the point at the moment. If you just look at what really happened, the selling actually started just right after the Tokyo session open, or actually no, it's right after the 11 o'clock. We have a breakdown at about 6 o'clock here. So localized breakdown from this structure, and subsequently we have a test of this level, the resistance level. So that really already conclude the distribution structure. Subsequently, you can see that commitment below this localized low here. So at that point, that is definitely a bearish bias because of the distribution structure has already completed and the sell-off has started. And throughout the sell-off, you can see that we only have an attempt to rally up, which also I think fall under my support level that I mentioned about, is about 3130, because I talk about once it break down below 3180, then the first level of the support definitely is to test the breakout bar here, or whether you can see the accelerated bars to the upside. And that also coincides with the swing high here. So 3130 or 3135, this area here definitely is the first level that everyone is watching. And of course, you can see that it did reacted and have a attempt to rally up, but the rally actually fails. So it just continued to slide down, and eventually it quickly just reached the projected level 3060. And if you look at the zoom out picture, you can see that I have my channel. Maybe I think it's better to view it in the daily chart here. So in this daily chart, you can see that this is another upsloping channel, upsloping range here in a purple line, purple color. So basically, yesterday's sell-off actually just tested this support level and actually reacted, and also definitely the psychological level 3000. And overall, I think it still wasn't that bad, despite I think in terms of percentage, the spread, the volume, they're all very bearish. Um, Let me just get back to the H1, and you can actually see that I had a trade here, which I will dive into M3 time frame. I'll elaborate a bit more. It's just a very simple breakout trade because the bias is to the downside, and I have a further target at least around 3060 or 50, somewhere around that area, and coincides with the support level formed in the daily upsloping channel or range. So you can see that just prior to that, we have a series of the slide down here, slide down, and subsequently after around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, it just turned into a range. It's a really localized or very small range here. So this is a relatively small structure that I lean on. And you can see that just prior to the opening at about 9:30 my time here, we have a attempt of the rally up, but actually just failed to commit above this resistance level. And after it opens, and we have another attempt, it's just barely can see that slightly upthrust the prior swing high. This is the swing high here. So you can see this bit of the bearish little bar here actually just upthrust the prior swing high a little bit, but we still didn't actually commit to the upside. So at this point, definitely my bias is still go down to the downside, but I just want to see how it actually resolve from this little structure here. So I just wait for the breakdown. So of course, you can see that the second test here, and then the rally become even smaller. So this is the, let me get this. So this is the first rally, and we have a second intermediate rally, and the third rally is here. So you can see that the rally is really getting smaller and smaller, and that suggests that the demand is not looking good, and definitely the bear is in control for the yesterday session. So just right after it breaks out, and I just go into the short entry, open a short position with a stop, relatively wide stop here, because you can see that yesterday was quite a crazy day and definitely very high volatility. So I just put my stops at about the swing high level here, rather than my usual stop is just maybe 2-3 points above this candle here. But it's quite a nice and smooth trade because the price just slide down, and eventually I just trail the stop and eventually get stopped out in this big bullish bar here at around about 12:30. So this is just one simple trade that I initiated yesterday's session. So let me just get to the current market condition, and I will talk more about what I think about yesterday's sell-off. And you can see that because when we look at the daily chart here, what do we really see? So we have a bottom form in the March of 23rd of March, And subsequently, the rally is great all the way to here. Subsequently, we went into upsloping trading range, and eventually we have a breakout, and subsequently a little bit of the acceleration to the upside. Didn't really go into overbought overthrow here, which I actually expect it will at around 3300, but it didn't. So the reaction actually happened a bit faster than I thought of, but actually it has shown up in the H1 distribution range, where I elaborate more in my video yesterday. But if you just look at this sell-off, then firstly, it actually just hits and also supported by this upsloping channel at the top part support level here. So I think this is not too bad at the moment. In terms of the bias, I really don't think that we can conclude it whether it's a start of the bear market, because I think just after yesterday's selling climax, because if you look at the H1, the spread in the daily or even the corrector in the H1 timeframe, definitely yesterday was a selling climax here. So today's I actually expect a rally up actually to test the selling bar here. So what I'm expecting is actually hopefully can just go up to test especially these few bars from 31 about 3110 to this bar 3040. But so far you can notice that the rally is relatively weak, but I'm not really surprised because it's still the Asian through the London session. The US market is the most liquid market and also the most active timing session as well. So I think a lot of the action will happen during the US session, and we still have a chance to see some push up if the market allow. So the first level that I'm watching is actually this day high. This is the prior day high, and this is the prior day low, or the can call it a swing low. So ideally, I'm looking for a short entry. So if the price or if the S&P can just go up and test the day high here around 3120, then show some kind of the rejection, I think this is a good entry to get short. But actually, what I'm really looking is a test of this downward accelerator bar. You can see this is a super bearish spread, big spread bar here together with a volume spike. So definitely this is an important bar. So I expect it to get tested as well. So it's not necessary to go all the way to the day high here. You can just go to the middle or anywhere in between. So just watch out for the test of this bar here and followed by a rejection. Then it could be a good short entry as well. And going forward, I think for the bullish case, we will see something like this. If this is just a temporary bottom after the selling climax, then followed by an automatic rally, then I think we should see some kind of test to the downside as well. It can be a lower low or even a higher low. So you just need to let the market decide. And we might just go into a range here. So this could be one of the bullish scenario, and eventually it will just resolve itself out of the range, and you can just go up to test the high again. And another scenario, it could just go a bit lower after the automatic rally. Then it could just maybe test to the half of the candle, then can just continue to go a bit lower to, I don't know, maybe 2340, because the next supporting level that I'm watching is somewhere around 2930 to 2950. So basically you can treat this the structure, this structure here from the low to the high, so that will provide some kind of the support as well. So definitely 2930 is one level that I'm watching. And for the immediate resistance level, definitely pay attention to the prior day's high, about 3110 or 20 here. And swing low, providing some kind of a support level, about 2993, or even you can say the round number 3000. And subsequently, if we can just break this support level at about 3000, then I think the next level of support will be 2930. But I don't really see an immediate reversal from here on, like what we see in the March sell-off. So the range that it will generate here should provide some kind of the clue for us to decide how we're going to unfold for the market. So definitely, I think we should see some kind of the stopping action and to let the price go into a trading range. And from there, I think we can see quite a lot of the telltale sign from there. So the potential trade scenario for later session that I'm watching definitely is still geared towards the downside. Looking for a short entry, so a test of these few bars or the day high. Upon a rejection, then I think it's a good short entry. Or if we can just go back to have a test and bounce up around the swing low level at 3000, then I think it's probably can worth to better to the long side as well. So really just we need to wait and see how it actually unfold. But given the overall structure from the daily time frame, you can see that this is indeed a very strong bull market. That's why I don't really see the immediate sell-off like, oh, this is a change of character bar, and we'll see this kind of the selling and then followed by another leg down to test the March low. Because still we have this kind of the upsloping range provided as a supporting area, then definitely I just think that this is just a normal correction from this uptrend from the 23rd of March. So definitely if you look at the big picture, so in terms of the down wave, this is definitely the biggest down wave that we have ever seen. So that definitely suggests it will go into at least a pause of the trend from March, and we'll go into a trading range at least. So from there, we will just judge whether it is a reaccumulation or it will just start to distribute. So I think that's my view to the current market condition, and hope you enjoyed it and get something out from this video. And if you like it, just click like and also hover to my name or picture to follow me. And do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification for my future videos ideas. So as usual, if you have any kind of the comments, trading ideas or suggestion that you would like to share with me, feel free to comment it below. I will definitely reply to your comment. All right, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.